April 5th, 1965. Santa Monica Civic Auditorium. The 37th Academy Awards ceremony. Julie Andrews sits in the audience, radiant in a white evening gown. She's been nominated for Best Actress for Mary Poppins. Her first film role, her first Oscar nomination. When presenter Sidney Poitier opens the envelope and announces Julie Andrews, the auditorium erupts. Standing ovation, genuine joy. This isn't just any Oscar win. This is justice. Julie walks to the stage, clutching her golden statuette. She thanks Walt Disney. She thanks the Mary Poppins cast and crew. Then she delivers the line that brings down the house. "I know you Americans are famous for your hospitality," she says with perfect English wit. "But this is really ridiculous." The audience laughs. They applaud. But everyone in that room knows what she's really saying. Everyone understands the subtext, the real message behind her gracious words. This Oscar is for My Fair Lady, the role she created on Broadway, the role she wasn't allowed to play on film, the role that went to Audrey Hepburn instead, for $1 million. While Julie Andrews, the woman who made Eliza Doolittle famous, got nothing. This is the story of Hollywood's most heartbreaking casting decision. The betrayal that shocked Broadway. The injustice that made Julie Andrews a star. And the $1 million mistake that haunted Audrey Hepburn for the rest of her career. March 15th, 1956. Mark Hellinger Theater, Broadway. A 20-year-old English girl named Julie Andrews steps onto the stage for the opening night of My Fair Lady. She's playing Eliza Doolittle, the Cockney flower girl who becomes a lady. It's the role that will define her career, the performance that will make her a legend. The reviews the next morning are rapturous. Walter Kerr in the Herald Tribune. Julie Andrews has that crystal clarity of voice and diction that seems to have been invented for this particular evening. Brooks Atkinson in the New York Times. Julie Andrews has the voice of an angel and the comic timing of a seasoned professional. But it's not just the critics who fall in love with Julie's Eliza. It's audiences. Night after night, sold-out crowds give her standing ovations. The Rain in Spain scene stops the show. Her rendition of Wouldn't It Be Loverly brings people to tears. For 6 years, Julie Andrews is Eliza Doolittle. 8 performances a week, 2,717 performances total. She misses only 2 shows during the entire run, once for laryngitis, once when she faints from exhaustion. She wins the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical. She wins the Theatre World Award. She wins the Outer Critics Circle Award. Every honor Broadway can bestow. She is, by every measure, the definitive Eliza Doolittle. More than that, she's the reason My Fair Lady becomes the longest-running musical in Broadway history up to that point. Tourists come to New York specifically to see Julie Andrews. The show becomes a cultural phenomenon, largely because of her performance. Alan J. Lerner, who wrote the book and lyrics, says, "Julie doesn't just play Eliza, she is Eliza. She created this character. She gave it life. She made audiences believe in the transformation." Frederick Loewe, the composer, agrees. "When I wrote these songs, I heard Julie's voice in my head. Her voice is Eliza's voice. No one else can sing these songs the way they were meant to be sung." Rex Harrison, her co-star, is initially skeptical of working with such a young actress. By opening night, he's converted. Julie has something you can't teach, something you can't fake. She has authenticity. When she sings about wanting to be a lady, you believe her. When she transforms, you see it happen. It's magic. The role changes Julie's life completely. From unknown chorus girl to Broadway royalty. From struggling performer to highest-paid musical star. From Julie Wells, her real name, to Julie Andrews, the name that will be on theater marquees forever. But success brings assumptions. Everyone in the theater world assumes that when My Fair Lady becomes a movie, and everyone knows it will become a movie, Julie will star. It's obvious, inevitable. She created the role. She owns the role. She is the role. Julie assumes it too. Why wouldn't she? This is her part, her character, her interpretation. She's given 6 years of her life to Eliza Doolittle. Turned down other opportunities to stay with the show. Perfected every gesture, every inflection, every moment. When Warner Brothers buys the film rights to My Fair Lady for a record-breaking $5.5 million in 1962, everyone congratulates Julie. "Can't wait to see you in the movie," people tell her at parties. "You must be excited about Hollywood," journalists write. These forgotten stories deserve to be told. If you think so too, subscribe and like this video. Thank you for keeping these memories alive. Julie smiles, thanks them graciously. But privately, she's getting nervous. Because no one from Warner Brothers has contacted her. No one has made an offer. No one has even acknowledged her existence. She tells herself it's just business. Negotiations take time. Contracts are complicated. They'll call soon. They never call. Warner Brothers Studios, Burbank, California. Spring 1963. Jack Warner sits in his executive suite, reviewing the My Fair Lady budget projections. The numbers are staggering. Production costs, $12 million. Marketing, $5 million. Total investment, $17 million, making it the most expensive film in Warner Brothers history. With that much money at stake, every decision becomes crucial, especially casting. The leads will make or break the film commercially. Rex Harrison is locked in. He created Professor Higgins, and movie audiences know him from previous films. But Eliza Doolittle? That's a different problem. What do we know about this Julie Andrews girl? Warner asks his executives. The response isn't encouraging. Great stage actress, no film experience, unknown to movie audiences outside New York. Won't sell tickets in Peoria. Warner nods. This is exactly what he feared. My Fair Lady needs to be a global blockbuster to recoup its massive investment. It needs stars who can sell tickets worldwide, names that guarantee box office success. "Get me a list of bankable actresses," Warner orders. "Women who can sing. Women audiences will pay to see." The list that comes back includes all the obvious choices. Shirley MacLaine, Natalie Wood, Elizabeth Taylor, but one name stands out. Audrey Hepburn. Audrey is box office gold. Roman Holiday, Sabrina, Breakfast at Tiffany's. Every film a success. She's elegant, beloved, internationally famous. Exactly the kind of star who guarantees profits. There's just one problem. Audrey can't really sing. "We'll dub her voice," suggests one executive. "We did it with Deborah Kerr in The King and I. With Natalie Wood in West Side Story. Standard practice." Warner considers this. Voice dubbing is expensive and complicated. But it's been done successfully before. And Audrey's star power would more than compensate for any vocal limitations. "What about the stage actress?" asks production head Walter McEwen. "Don't we owe her something? She created the role." Warner's response is blunt. We don't owe her anything. We bought the rights to a musical. We didn't buy an obligation to hire unknown actresses. It's a purely commercial decision. Nothing personal, nothing artistic, just business. Cold, calculating, profit-driven business. But Warner knows there will be backlash. The theater community will be furious. Critics will complain. Julie Andrews has supporters who will see this as a betrayal. How do we handle the publicity? Warner asks. The answer is spin. Warner Brothers will emphasize Audrey's qualifications. Her elegance, her previous success in similar roles, her global appeal. They'll suggest that film requires different skills than stage. That movie audiences deserve movie stars. What they won't mention is the money. Audrey will earn $1 million for My Fair Lady, the highest salary of her career up to that point, plus a percentage of profits, plus promotional considerations. Her total compensation could reach $3 million. Julie Andrews, who created Eliza Doolittle, will earn nothing. Not a penny, not even a screen test, not even a courtesy meeting. Are we sure about this? Asks one nervous executive. The optics are pretty bad. Broadway star gets nothing, movie star gets millions. Warner's response ends the discussion. The optics that matter are at the box office. Audrey Hepburn sells tickets, Julie Andrews doesn't. End of conversation. The decision is made. Audrey will be offered the role. Julie will be ignored. And Warner Brothers will gamble $17 million on the bet that star power matters more than authenticity. It's a bet that will haunt everyone involved. July 23, 1963. Julie Andrews is having lunch at Sardi's restaurant in New York. She's between shows. My Fair Lady closes in September after a record-breaking run, and she's preparing for a television special. The conversation at nearby tables keeps mentioning My Fair Lady movie. She tries not to eavesdrop, but it's impossible. Then she overhears something that stops her cold. Did you hear? Audrey Hepburn got the movie. Julie's fork freezes halfway to her mouth. She tells herself she misheard, or that it's just a rumor. Hollywood gossip is notoriously unreliable. But when she gets home, there are 17 phone messages. Reporters wanting statements, friends offering condolences, her agent requesting an urgent meeting. The news is everywhere. Front page of Variety, Hepburn to star in Lady Piquet. Hollywood Reporter, Audrey set for Warner's $17 million musical. Julie reads the articles in stunned silence. Audrey will receive $1 million plus profit participation. Rex Harrison will co-star, recreating his Broadway role. George Cukor will direct. Production begins in August. There's no mention of Julie Andrews anywhere. Not even a paragraph about her Broadway performance. Not even acknowledgement that someone else created this role. She's been erased from the story completely. The phone rings. It's her agent, Arthur Park. Julie, I'm so sorry. I had no idea they were negotiating with Audrey. Warner Brothers never contacted us, never made an inquiry, never even acknowledged your existence. How is that possible? Julie asks quietly. I've played this role 2,717 times. How do they make a movie without even considering me? Because you're not a movie star, Arthur says brutally. And they're not making art. They're making commerce. The entertainment press coverage is savage. Toward Warner Brothers, not Julie. Variety calls it a slap in the face to Broadway. The Hollywood Reporter questions whether commercial considerations should override artistic integrity. Time magazine runs an editorial titled, "When Money Talks, Art Walks." Broadway reacts with fury. Alan J. Lerner, the show's creator, is diplomatically critical. Julie Andrews is Eliza Doolittle. No one who hasn't seen her performance can truly understand the character. Frederick Lowe is less diplomatic. They're making a mistake, a costly, artistic mistake. Julie's voice was born to sing these songs. Rex Harrison finds himself in an impossible position. He supports Julie personally, but can't criticize the film he's contracted to make. His diplomatic response: Julie is irreplaceable on Broadway. Audrey will bring her own interpretation to the screen. The criticism stings Warner Brothers executives, but they stand firm. "We're confident Audrey Hepburn will deliver a magnificent performance," reads their official statement. "Film audiences worldwide will embrace her Eliza." Privately, they're less confident. The negative publicity is extensive and sustained. The theater community feels betrayed. Even some film critics are questioning the casting before seeing a single frame. But the decision is irreversible. Contracts are signed. Pre-production is underway. Audrey is committed. Julie handles the public disappointment with characteristic grace. Her official statement is generous. "Audrey Hepburn is a wonderful actress. I wish her and the entire production great success." Privately, she's devastated. Not just about losing the role, but about how it happened. No screen test, no audition, no consideration, just erasure. "The worst part isn't that they chose someone else," she confides to friends. "The worst part is that they never even looked at me. I might not have been right for the film version, but shouldn't that have been their decision to make after seeing me try?" The wound goes deeper than professional disappointment. It's about respect, recognition. The assumption that 6 years of defining a character means nothing when real money is involved. Julie begins looking for other opportunities. Television specials, concert performances, maybe another Broadway show. She needs to rebuild her career around the reality that Hollywood doesn't want her. What she doesn't know yet is that this betrayal will become the best thing that ever happened to her career. August 1963. Audrey Hepburn arrives at Warner Brothers Studios for her first My Fair Lady meeting. She's excited about the role, but troubled by the circumstances. She knows about Julie Andrews. She knows about the controversy. She knows she's stepping into someone else's shoes. The guilt is immediate and overwhelming. Audrey has spent her entire career being gracious, being kind, being considerate of other performers. Taking a role away from its creator feels wrong, especially without that creator ever being given a chance. "I keep thinking about Julie Andrews," Audrey tells director George Cukor during their first meeting. "She must be heartbroken." "It's business," Cukor replies pragmatically. "Warner Brothers made a commercial decision. You shouldn't feel guilty about their choice." But Audrey does feel guilty. So guilty that she considers turning down the role. Her agent, Kurt Frings, talks her out of it. "If you don't do it, they'll just hire someone else," Frings argues. "Julie still won't get the part, and you'll lose the opportunity of a lifetime." He's right, of course. But the logic doesn't ease Audrey's conscience. The $1 million salary makes everything worse. It's an obscene amount of money, more than most people earn in a lifetime. More than Julie Andrews earned in 6 years of creating Eliza Doolittle. The contrast is obscene and obvious. Audrey tries to rationalize it. She's a movie star. Movie stars earn movie star salaries. She didn't set the amount. Warner Brothers offered it. She's worth it based on her track record. If you want more untold stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Your support means everything to us, but the justifications feel hollow. Deep down, she knows this situation is unfair, unjust, wrong. The voice dubbing adds another layer of complexity. Marni Nixon, who dubbed Audrey's singing in My Fair Lady, is also uncomfortable with the situation. It feels fraudulent, Nixon confides to Audrey during recording sessions. Your name is on the film, but Julie's interpretation is in your performance, and my voice is singing the songs. Who's really playing Eliza? It's a question that haunts Audrey throughout production. She's an actress playing a role created by another actress, singing songs with another woman's voice, earning money that should have gone to the originator. The press doesn't make it easier. Every interview includes questions about Julie Andrews. Every reporter asks Audrey how she feels about replacing the Broadway star. Audrey's answers are consistently gracious. I have enormous respect for Julie Andrews. She created something beautiful on Broadway. I'm simply trying to bring my own interpretation to the screen. But privately, she's miserable. The joy she usually finds in creating a character is poisoned by the knowledge that she's profiting from someone else's artistic loss. George Cukor tries to help by focusing on film technique. This is a different medium, he reminds Audrey. Film requires different skills than stage. You're not replacing Julie. You're translating her creation into cinema. It helps slightly, but Audrey knows the truth. If Warner Brothers had wanted to translate Julie's creation, they would have hired Julie to do it. The irony is crushing. Audrey is earning the highest salary of her career for a role that makes her feel terrible about herself. Every day on set is a reminder that Hollywood values fame over fairness, commerce over craft. Rex Harrison, who worked with both actresses, tries to ease Audrey's guilt. You're both brilliant, he tells her. Julie owns the stage version. You'll own the film version. Different interpretations of the same material. But Audrey can't shake the feeling that she's stolen something precious. That her $1 million came at the cost of another woman's dreams. The feeling will haunt her for the rest of her life. December 1963. Julie Andrews receives a call that will change everything. Walt Disney wants to meet with her about starring in a new musical film, something called Mary Poppins. The irony is perfect. While Audrey Hepburn is making My Fair Lady the role Julie created, Disney is offering Julie the chance to create a new iconic character from scratch. Julie reads the Mary Poppins script and immediately understands its potential. This isn't just another musical. This is magic, fantasy, innovation. The kind of film that could redefine what movie musicals can be. More importantly, it's hers. No one else has played Mary Poppins. No Broadway star will be displaced. No one will question her right to the role. I want to do it, Julie tells Disney without hesitation. Disney is thrilled. He's seen Julie on Broadway and television. He knows she has the vocal power, the acting ability, and the indefinable quality that makes characters beloved. He's also aware of the My Fair Lady controversy and wants to give Julie the film career she deserves. This will be your movie, Disney promises. Your showcase. Your chance to show Hollywood what they missed. Mary Poppins filming begins in May 1964. just as My Fair Lady is finishing post-production. The contrast between the two experiences couldn't be more dramatic. On My Fair Lady, Audrey struggled with guilt and vocal dubbing. On Mary Poppins, Julie sings with her own magnificent voice. On My Fair Lady, Audrey played someone else's interpretation. On Mary Poppins, Julie creates an original character. The Disney team treats Julie like royalty. She has input on songs, choreography, costume design. Her opinions matter. Her creativity is valued. She's not just an actress for hire. She's a collaborator. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious becomes the most famous nonsense word in cinema history. A spoonful of sugar becomes a parenting philosophy. Chim Chim Cherry becomes a classic. All sung in Julie's own voice, all performed with her own interpretation. The supporting cast adores her. Dick Van Dyke calls her the most talented person I've ever worked with. The child actors, Karen Daughtris and Matthew Garber, treat her like a beloved aunt. Most importantly, Julie loves every minute of filming. This is how movie making should feel. Collaborative, creative, joyful, not guilty. Mary Poppins wraps filming in September 1964. My Fair Lady premieres in October 1964. The timing is perfect for comparison. My Fair Lady is a massive commercial success. It earned $72 million worldwide, making it Warner Brothers' highest-grossing film to date. Critics praise the production values, the performances, the musical numbers, but there's also criticism. Several reviews mention Julie Andrews. Some suggest the film would have been better with the original Broadway star. Audrey's voice dubbing is noticed and commented upon. Mary Poppins premieres in August 1965. The reaction is extraordinary. Critics don't just praise Julie, they celebrate her. This is clearly a star-making performance, a career-defining role, a triumph. More importantly, audiences fall in love with Julie Andrews, the movie star. Children drag their parents to repeat viewings. Adults discover they enjoy musicals when they're this good. Mary Poppins becomes a cultural phenomenon. The box office numbers tell the story. Mary Poppins earns $103 million worldwide, significantly outgrossing My Fair Lady. Julie's film is more successful than Audrey's film. The unknown stage actress beats the established movie star. Hollywood notices. Suddenly, Julie is in demand. Scripts arrive daily. Directors want meetings. Agents court her. She's no longer the girl who didn't get My Fair Lady. She's the star of Mary Poppins. The transformation is complete. Julie has gone from Broadway disappointment to Hollywood sensation. From rejected stage actress to Academy Award nominee. The revenge is perfect, elegant, satisfying, and entirely unintentional. April 5th, 1965. The Academy Awards ceremony. Both My Fair Lady and Mary Poppins are nominated for Best Picture. Both Audrey Hepburn and Julie Andrews are eligible for Best Actress nominations. Only one of them is nominated. Julie Andrews receives her first Academy Award nomination for Mary Poppins. Audrey Hepburn is ignored completely. The Academy voters have spoken. Voice dubbing and borrowed interpretations don't deserve recognition. Original performances do. The symbolism is overwhelming. Julie, the woman who was considered not movie star enough for My Fair Lady, is nominated for an Oscar in her first film role. Audrey, the movie star who was chosen specifically for her box office appeal, is deemed unworthy of recognition. When Julie wins the Oscar, her acceptance speech is gracious but pointed. The line about American hospitality being ridiculous gets the biggest laugh of the night. Everyone knows what she means. Everyone understands the reference. This Oscar isn't just for Mary Poppins, it's for My Fair Lady, the role she should have played, the recognition she should have received, the justice that was delayed but not denied. Audrey watches from home. She doesn't attend the ceremony. Friends say she's under the weather, but everyone knows the truth. She can't bear to watch Julie receive the recognition that highlights her own absence from the nominations. The Oscar win transforms Julie's career permanently. She becomes one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses. The Sound of Music follows. More musicals, more success. More proof that Warner Brothers made the wrong choice. Meanwhile, My Fair Lady's legacy becomes complicated. It wins Best Picture. Rex Harrison wins Best Actor. George Cukor wins Best Director. But there's always an asterisk, always the sense that something was missing, someone was missing. Years later, when people discuss My Fair Lady, they inevitably mention Julie Andrews. Can you imagine how good it would have been with the original cast? What were they thinking? Not using Julie? Audrey was fine, but Julie was Eliza. The film's reputation suffers over time. While Mary Poppins becomes a timeless classic beloved by generations, My Fair Lady becomes known as much for its casting controversy as its artistic merits. Audrey never fully recovers from the guilt. In later interviews, she consistently deflects questions about My Fair Lady. When pressed about Julie Andrews, her answers are generous but sad. Julie is extraordinarily talented, Audrey says in a 1975 interview. She deserved that role. I always felt terrible about how it happened. Julie, to her credit, never publicly criticizes Audrey. Her resentment is directed at Warner Brothers, not the actress who took the role. Audrey was just doing her job, Julie says diplomatically. She's a lovely person and a wonderful performer. My issue was never with her. The two women never become friends, but they maintain professional respect. When they encounter each other at industry events, their interactions are cordial but brief. The ghost of My Fair Lady always hovers between them. In 1993, when Audrey dies, Julie issues a gracious statement. Audrey Hepburn was one of cinema's great lights. Her grace, elegance, and humanitarian work inspired millions. There's no mention of My Fair Lady, no reference to their shared history, just respect for a fellow performer who died carrying guilt she never should have felt. The lesson of My Fair Lady endures. Commerce and art don't always align. Star power and talent aren't the same thing. Sometimes the safe choice isn't the right choice. Julie Andrews created Eliza Doolittle, but didn't get to play her in the movie. She earned nothing while Audrey earned $1 million. She was ignored while Audrey was celebrated. But in the end, Julie got something more valuable than money or immediate recognition. She got justice. She got Mary Poppins. She got an Oscar. She got a career that proved Warner Brothers wrong. And she got the last laugh. The casting decision that was supposed to guarantee My Fair Lady's success became the controversy that overshadowed it. The unknown stage actress they rejected became a bigger movie star than the established one they hired. Julie Andrews didn't need My Fair Lady after all. My Fair Lady needed Julie Andrews, and everyone, except maybe Jack Warner, eventually figured that out. This is Audrey Hepburn, The Hidden Truth. From wartime horrors to Hollywood secrets, we uncover what they've been hiding for decades. Subscribe to discover the dark truth behind the elegant image.